Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Sloose Caboose and welcome back to another Squeeze Squad video. Today you are going to be seeing some gameplay while we try to get our good friend NZX a nuke. Spoiler alert, somebody else ended up getting it. While you're watching, enjoy the sweet soothing sound of my fantastic voice telling you what I expect from the next COD, Call of Duty Vanguard. So if you don't already know, COD Vanguard releases next Friday, November 5th. It's your typical COD but set in World War II. Its design is being led by Sledgehammer Games, and it's being assisted by the Huge, which is Raven and Beanox. Treyarch's also assisting because they're going to be developing the Zombies mode and continuing the Dark Ether storyline. We'll have more on that later. Now into the juice, the moment none of y'all have been waiting for, my expectations and predictions for Call of Duty Vanguard. Alright, so I'm not going to lie to you guys. I really don't know where my expectations stand at the moment. At first, I was super excited. I love World War II based shooters. For those of you that don't know, I'm a certified history teacher, so I love hearing some untold stories of veterans that make it into these games. I always expect the campaigns of World War II games to be fantastic because Call of Duty does their research. They really dive in and try to get the most realistic campaign possible, for the most part. In my opinion, World War II had a decent campaign, but it was short, and you didn't really get to enjoy and connect with all of the characters. My biggest concern for the Vanguard campaign is that they're going to focus on all of the fronts of the war, to try to share too many stories, and that won't allow us to connect with each character and feel the same emotions that some of these soldiers are supposed to be feeling. I would love it if COD dropped like a 20, 30, maybe even 40-hour campaign, which obviously would never happen, if they just focused on like 3 different soldiers, one on the Eastern Front, one on the Western Front, and then one in the South in like Africa. That would give us like, I don't know, 10, 12 hours each for each character, where you can really bond and learn their story, and you really learn what each front was like and like the different hardships they all faced, and I think that would make for a fantastic campaign, in my opinion. All right, so multiplayer expectations. I played the beta. You probably played the beta. It was all right. Me personally, I hate the Modern Warfare engine. I hate that I feel like I'm being weighed down by hundreds of pounds of gear. And before all you keyboard warriors chew me out in the comments because it's realistic, go play any other COD. I would take normal COD sprinting over the garbage underwater tactical sprint that's somehow slower than death itself. The gameplay, it was alright. When I readjusted to the slower gameplay style, I kind of got the hang of it, and it was kind of fun. The guns felt a little overpowered. I would die by SMGs at ridiculous ranges before I could even scope in my sniper. The time to kill was dropped slightly. I think the gameplay would feel a lot cleaner. I'm also not a fan of the doors and the destructible walls. I just think they add way too much of a tactical feel to a normal multiplayer, alongside the weapon mounting, the blind firing. They all just feel out of place in COD. I think that they could restrict some of those features to a certain game mode, maybe one that takes a lot of ideas from like Rainbow Six Siege, similar to how Black Ops 4 had that Counter-Strike-esque game mode called Heist. I do have high hopes for the multiplayer, though. There is a lot of variety in it. There's the different modes. You have Blitz, you have Tactical, you have the Standard mode. It helps dictate the pacing. Also, there's a metric fuck ton of maps coming out at launch. What is there, 20-something? I mean, that's more than I've ever seen in any COD. There's going to be a new Warzone map, plus all the new bullet typings. While all of this is massive and positive changes, I think it's a little overwhelming to me. I think that old saying, less is more, is kind of true here. I would have much preferred them add these features in slowly, maybe a couple updates, like Season 2, you get like, oh, there's different bullet types, or something like that, or even just save them for the next game. Just throwing all of this stuff out all at once, it's a little overwhelming to me. But I trust Sledgehammer. They're going to make the adjustments to their game. They're going to listen to the community. They're going to make a good game. Sledgehammer is very good at this. They always listen to the community, and they always improve. Every game they've led has been solid. They co-developed MW3, which had a fantastic multiplayer. I know Infinity Ward was still the lead, but they had a big part in that. They led Advanced Warfare, which, in my opinion, is the most underrated and overhated Call of Duty of all time. Of course, World War II, which a lot of people hated, I enjoyed it. It wasn't perfect, but it was an average game that had some cool features that should still be in the game. Headquarters. I mean, if you have played World War II and you remember Headquarters, it was the greatest thing of all time. They had the firing range, the 1v1 pit, the theater. You could just hang out with people in there. And I know that's not necessarily like what COD's all about, but you could interact with a bunch of other people. There was the beautiful view of like World War II scenery, like you had the big blimp. There was just a bunch of cool stuff going on in the background. I trust that the changes that Sledgehammers are going to bring to Vanguard are going to be good. They're innovative. They're a good development team. So I believe everything that they're going to add into this game is going to be standard or should be standard in the future. I think it's going to be better than Modern Warfare 2019, which to some of you, you're going to say, oh, that's impossible. Modern Warfare 2019 is literally the best game of all time. But that's the same thing you guys all said when you guys were playing Fortnite. You guys said that was the best game of all time. Fortnite actually is a good game compared to Modern Warfare 2019. For others, you're going to say, that's not hard. Modern Warfare 2019 sucks. I think it's just going to be I've heard a lot of people say it's just a reskin of Modern Warfare 2019, and in a way it is. It's just on the same engine. But I think it's going to be a step above and a step beyond Modern Warfare 2019. Is it going to be significantly better? Probably not. Is it going to be at least slightly better? Yes. My prediction is it's going to be hated at first. The fanboys are going to continue playing Modern Warfare 2019 for a couple of months. The other side's going to be playing Cold War. Those that are dedicated to playing Vanguard are going to enjoy a game that isn't perfect, but vastly underrated. They're going to be miles ahead of the competition when the Christmas noobs are first logging in. They're going to learn the ins and outs of all the new systems and all the new maps and realize that they actually are beneficial to all players because it allows the player more of an option. You don't have to jump into a game if you don't want to die to somebody sprinting around the map at full speed, jumping around a corner with a shotgun or SMG, and then you're just instantly dead. But you also have the option to have a faster-paced game mode where you don't have to necessarily worry about the snipers. And then you have all of those people doing exactly that. You have people jumping around the corners with the SMGs and shotguns, if that's what you like. My only hope, I would say, for this game is that the SBMM isn't as heavy in Vanguard. I typically don't like to complain about SBMM. I understand that it gets rough, but, I mean, it makes sense for the companies to do this because they have to sell this game. And to do that, they need casual players to play the game. I remember back in MW2, there were some lobbies where I went like 0-25, and there'd be lobbies where I went like 36-1. It was just crazy. Like, you didn't know what was going to happen some days. When I hop on with some of my friends, I want them to enjoy the game too. But if they have 3 or 4 good players on the same team, they're left finishing even or even negative. And I know if I was in that scenario myself, I'm getting the hell out of that game. Just ask NZX how many times I've rage quit playing with just him, because he brings the SBMM way up. If they can tone it down slightly, I believe we're going to be in shape for one of the better multiplayers in a while, I think. And last but not least, we have zombies. I'm a zombies guy. I had probably 4 or 5 days played in Cold War Zombies before I had even 2 played in Cold War multiplayer. I liked Cold War Zombies. It made the game easier, more accessible to my friends. Other than myself, the only one that I would consider a zombies guy is Coldmoney. The others are just casual zombies enjoyers, I guess. Cold War made zombies easier. The Easter eggs were simple. Just overall, the entire zombies mode become equally accessible rather than some players being locked to just round-based survival due to skill. While I love me a good old Easter egg hunt and hours of time played to dump into unimpressive high rounds, I loved being able to share the joy that I get from zombies with others. And while it might be less enjoyable to a zombies guy, let's say it's 5 to 10% less enjoyable, others probably found it 50 to maybe even 100% more enjoyable to go for high rounds or Easter eggs. Seeing my friends enjoy something that I am so passionate about, it got rid of that minuscule ratio. Like, whatever I didn't enjoy about the easiness of it, seeing my friends enjoy something that I love made it that much better. Because the Vanguard storyline is going to be continued from Cold War, not necessarily continued, it's going to be a prequel, but it's going to be in the same universe, I expect the same. I think the gameplay is going to be a little bit easier. I think they're still going to make some improvements. I expect another good zombies game. My only concern is that how it's going to be played on the Modern Warfare engine, but I'm sure that they're working on something to make it feel more like Cold War, or they're going to make it good regardless. I mean, I don't know. I feel like Modern Warfare is slow. That engine just feels slow, and zombies is kind of a faster thing. So I don't know what they're going to do, but I'm sure there's some developmental workaround that they can do. I'm sure that whatever ends up coming into the zombies mode is going to be good. All right, so my lower prediction score for this full game is going to be a 7.4. It's going to be a decent game that could use some work and love that it just never really got. There's some good to it, there's some bad to it, some that could have used some small tweaks to be great. Maybe it's a little buggy, maybe it's a little glitchy. My upper tier prediction for this game is going to be an 8.9. It's COD. People are going to hate it for whatever reason and rate it poorly, even if it's the best game or the worst. We may look back on this game in a few years and realize what we truly had. People are doing this now with Ghost. Ghost wasn't a bad game. People say it's the worst COD of all time, but it's decent. It's a decent game. A lot of people have been praising Ghost lately, but I think Vanguard could have 2 of the 3 modes end up being stellar. I'd love to see 3 of 3 being stellar. The other one, if it's not perfect, it'll be nearly there. I would love to see this game get a 10, but Call of Duty's been plagued by bugs and glitches, as we all know, and I expect to see some here. And with Vanguard, it's kind of, I don't know, just people are so skeptical about the game. But I'm hoping that the campaign hits hard, the multiplayer is good, and everybody kind of finds their own rhythm with it. And then zombies is zombies. It's going to be good. I mean, let's face the facts here. I mean, zombies is, it might not be to everybody's cup of tea or whatnot. I know some people are BO1 elitists where they're like, I need just the simple maps where I can just run around in circles and train. And some people are like, I need like the heaviest hard-hitting Easter eggs of all time. Like if I'm not hunting this Easter egg for 6 days straight, like it's not a good map. So those are my tiered predictions for Vanguard, upper tier, lower tier. What do you guys think? Do you think Vanguard's going to be a good game? Feel free to leave some comments below with your thoughts and opinions on the next Call of Duty. We would love to see everybody's thoughts on the game. And if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. It's really going to help us out, and it'll allow you to catch our upcoming videos. That's all I have for now, folks. I hope you enjoyed. Hit that like button, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.